Everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with a non-airgun video. This is a 22 long rifle, right? So this is the GSG-16 basically made by German Sports Guns. So it's germansportsguns.com. We do not sell this in our Replica Airgun store because this is a licensed gun. You need to have a Canadian firearms license to buy this gun. You don't have to actually register it, which is really cool because it's considered a long gun because it is a 22 with I can't remember the exact length of the barrel, but it constrains to the specifications that it needs to have a length of barrel. This is not a suppressor, it is a barrel shroud to make the barrel look a little bit more cool. Instead of having a long skinny barrel, they put this barrel shroud on there. It kind of looks like a suppressor. It also has this adjustable stock, very typical of an MP5. And if you haven't noticed, it kind of looks like an MP5, doesn't it, right? It has that look, but it almost kind of looks like an AR-15. It's really almost like a hybrid gun, and the reason for that is because they came out, so GSG came out with the with the GSG-522. I even think there was a previous version of it, but basically I think it was called the GSG-5. So then it changed to the 522. And the reason for the changes in naming and in cosmetic looks is because H&K, who makes the MP5, didn't like that they copied it so closely, because the original GSG-5 and 522 really shared the MP5 look. And I'll show you kind of what an MP5 looks like. So you have the similar rail set up here. So if you notice, mine has the rail that slides forward for the stock. You can do that with the MP5s. You can put a stock that slides forward. This one has a folding stock on it, but you'll also notice it has this guy here, the slapper for the charging handle. That's an MP5 trait. You have the 9mm style magazine, and you have obviously the neat little thumb remover there. You have just the controls are very MP5 oriented, and also the smaller 9mm charging or extraction port. If you look at an AR-15, you'll notice it's got the 223 style magazine, right, with a much larger charging ejection port with a dust cover. You also have the charging handle back here, and you have the forward assist. But if you look at these two really, like side by side, both of them are the tan color. The grips are more similar. The receiver almost looks a little bit more closer to an AR-15, and this one has all the rails that's decked out more like an AR-15 with the rails. So GSG decided, I guess, to kind of make it look more AR-15-ish to try to get around that H&K licensing issue. But control-wise, it's very MP5, and there are actually kits for this gun to kind of make it look more like an MP5. You can buy these different kits that change the front end, that give you the, the proper hooded MP5 hood, right? So you can see here on this MP5, it's got the MP5 hooded front sight, and then you have this very MP5 rear sight. You can get these types of parts for this gun. You can even, I believe, put like an MP5 stock, more traditional full stock that isn't foldable. But very cool. I like it though. I don't want to really change it. I do like it. I had an ISSC 22 long rifle. It was ISSC MK22. I believe that's the name of it. I liked it, but it was a little bulky for me. For a 22, I thought this is cool. This is nice and compact. You've got the 22 round magazine, so I'll talk a little bit about it, right? So you get these 22 round, 22 long rifle magazines. And the cool thing is you have the MP5 thumb, you can do it that way, or you can actually do it here. You've got an injector there as well. So you have two ways of doing it. You have ambidextrous selector switch for fire and safe. You have this little guy for adjusting your stock. I believe it's 3 position. I don't know why they put a rail on here. That's absolutely useless. But one thing that isn't useless is it comes with a second mag. Oh, let me get that in there. And it locks into the rear stock, which is really cool because you can kind of roll it up on your shoulder. Guys are showing that you can roll it up. But you can have a fully loaded 2 magazines, and you can do drop your mag, quickly grab your second mag, and pop it in there really quick, because you can just pull it out and pop it in. So that's really cool. I mean, some people say they don't like it there. They think it looks silly, but I think that's a great design. You have peep sight in the back. It does come with a number of different sights. that you can put in it. So you've got this little bag of goodies, and some of these sights they're different heights for elevation. Some of them even have like, let me pull it out for you. Some of them have painted tips. So the one that's installed, you'll see how they've got the colored tips on them, right? So you can see them better. And then you have different size peep sights. So you have the smaller peep sight. I kind of like the smaller peep sights. Now they're not going to be as quick for target acquisition, but they will be more accurate in terms of, you know, getting closer on the target, because the larger peep sight just has a big sight picture and you kind of have to figure out where the center is, where the smaller peep helps you get a more accurate sight picture. But again, the larger peep sight does allow you for quicker target acquisition if you're doing really quick shooting. So you got quad rails on the front. So it's 5 rails if you want to consider the back one. I believe it's M-LOK underneath it. I'm pretty sure. You have the charging handle. So if I charge it, your port opens up. You can slap it closed, right? And then if I pull this out, it'll close. So, right? And it's got a really nice trigger. I haven't shot this gun at all yet. Haven't loaded it up, haven't tried it. It is a higher velocity, so you need a round that's got at least a decent grain bullet, at least 30 grain or higher, and you need something that shoots they say it's a high velocity, hyper velocity rounds, but I've seen guys shooting 40 grain, you know, medium velocity, so 1,000 feet per second rounds. No problem with this gun. So you just need something that's got a bit of grain to it, so grain for the round, that's shooting at least 1,000 feet per second, and it'll cycle just perfectly fine. If you're shooting a short in it or a low velocity round, it's not going to cycle properly, so you're going to have to cycle it manually. But you could do that if you want to keep the sound down, and depending on your shooting situation, you want to keep the sound down. Now, having a longer barrel, you know, pistols are really loud. Rifles, the longer the barrel, acts a bit like a muffler, and it makes it a little bit quieter. And being a 22 long rifle, those rounds aren't the loudest anyway, so it's going to be a fairly quiet gun for a powder burner for sure. So again, this MOK suppressor, I do have this little guy here. I'm not going to put it on because I can't right now, because I ordered it. I wanted to kind of put something beefier on the front there just to make it look more intentionally like a MOK suppressor. You know, I thought it was a little bit better quality than it is. It actually turned out to be, it looks like it's printed. You know, it's like some sort of a printed barrel, and it doesn't really fit because it's a little tight on the inside. So I'm going to have to get a drill and kind of just sort of buff it out on the inside, because I don't want to scratch up my existing MOK, or, you know, MOK suppressor slash whatever you want to call this thing, right? It's more of a barrel shroud or barrel guard, right? But, you know, I might put that on if I can get it to fit without damaging anything. You'll notice I have a little bit of a foregrip on here. It's just, you know, it's kind of nice to hold. I've also got this light, right? And it's right there, so it's kind of cool. It's just, I can just quickly get to it by just popping my finger up here. So it's like a 400 lumens light. It happens to be the MPL20. So we do have it on our website, but it's out of stock currently. 460 lumens. It's the Nightcore MPL20. If you're interested in any of the Nightcore products, check that out. It's a nice, compact, really bright light. You'll also notice I have this red dot, right? And it's just a copy. I forget the name of this exact, I can't remember the name. I'll put it on the screen. But what I like about this particular red dot is it takes AA batteries, because I quite often forget to turn them off or accidentally turn them on, right? So it's not on right now, thank goodness. But if I accidentally turn it on, leave it on, it's AA batteries. And, you know, just, you know, whenever you're at Costco, you can buy a pack of 1,000 AA batteries for like 10 bucks. So really cheap to put new batteries in it. It's quick release. If it did malfunction, I could get it off real quick and go back to the standard sights if I needed to. So I really like this gun. You're probably wondering, why did I get it? You know, I'm an Airgun channel now. I have reviewed quite a few 22 rifles I've reviewed. I do have some videos of real steel guns. I've got 9mm, 40 calibers. Not 40 cal, I got a 10 mil that I reviewed. I've got a few Norinco guns that I've reviewed. I've got some other 22 long rifle pistols that I've reviewed, because I do have my restricted firearms license. I've reviewed my Henry 22 lever action. I reviewed the ISSC, both ISSC guns. I had the MK22 and the M22. So one's the pistol and one's the rifle. So I've reviewed a lot of real steel guns. I've got some range videos on the channel. You know, whenever I have a gun that I buy, if it's real steel or not, I usually like to point it out, bring it to your attention. I know a lot of air gunners are also interested in 22s because they're, you know, if you're into air gunning, you're into shooting inexpensively, getting, you know, as much trigger time as possible, being able to shoot in potentially more situations than other guns. 22 rifles allow you to shoot in more places. There are some ranges that won't allow you to shoot, you know, higher velocity rounds. I know one of the ranges I used to go to, you couldn't shoot 40, any Magnum rounds or anything too large, no rifles other than 22s. So as long as it was a 22 in the range, the 22 rifle, you could shoot it. Other rifles, you know, you couldn't shoot in the range. So pretty cool. This gun allows me to shoot inexpensively. You know, I can probably get 1,000 rounds for, you know, $50 here in Canada. Which is pretty cheap to shoot, you know, if you find the right places, the right rounds to get. Can I shoot it in the indoor shooting range? Well, I do have a 22 long rifle trap in there. And as long as I can do it safely and it's not too loud in here, not too noisy outside, I might be able to actually shoot this here in the Replica Airguns C-Can. Yeah, so I mean, maybe I'll just use shorts in it for fun because they're a little bit quieter. Actually, 22 shorts in a rifle like this are they don't make almost any noise just because they're not pumping out nearly as much powder. So yeah, so the other thing I forgot to mention why I got it was it's my birthday today, right? So I didn't want to make that the focus of this video, but it is actually my birthday today. I ordered this about a week and a half ago. Wasn't even thinking about my birthday. It just kind of came up on the radar in my email. I got an email from Marstar.ca who sells these guns. And I thought, well, this is a cool gun. This is right up my alley. So I ordered it. And then I realized it was probably going to come right about the same time as my birthday. And it came yesterday. So this is my birthday present to me. Happy birthday, Mike. 53 years old today. Still getting older, unfortunately. But hey, that's what happens. Okay, so not in the Replica Airgun store, but we do have all sorts of guns in the store. I believe we still have these MP5s. This gun goes way back. You can watch video. This one probably goes back, you know, from the beginning of the channel, within the first couple of years of the channel, over at least on YouTube. That's where you'll see it in some of the old, you know, posts over in Replica Airguns. This one goes way back. So it was probably maybe my second or third gun that I reviewed when this came out. Really cool gun. Still a cool gun, even today. And then, of course, the Crosman series of ARs. This is the MPW. So there's a whole bunch of different AR-15s in the Crosman lineup you can check out. And those are in the Replica Airgun store, Canada and the US. So check out all that stuff and accessories and foregrips and all that kind of stuff. Red dots, we have that all there. Just not this particular gun. All right, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Of course, if you're interested in air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories, we do have those in our Canada and US stores over at replicaairguns.ca for Canada and replicaairguns.us for the US. Until next time, thanks for watching. Take care.